One thing I've come to realize is that you can't force other people to see your value as a person. Sometimes, no matter how much you give or, how much you try, you know, they just won't get it. And it's hard to understand, but at some point, you have to come to terms that that's okay. If you don't, if they don't see your worth, let them miss out on you. It's easy to fall into, you know, chasing people who don't appreciate you for you, trying to prove to other people that you belong to sit at their table, like you deserve to sit at their table. But, the truth is, you're not meant to beg, you know? Like, you're not meant to beg for other people's attention because your worth isn't tied in if somebody notices you or not, you know? And a lot of people, struggle with realizing that. Other people's blindness to understanding your value, doesn't devalue you, doesn't, I can't speak, doesn't devalue you. So respect yourself enough to walk away from things, especially when it's clear that you're not being valued. Like, you're not losing them, they're losing you in the end. Remember that stepping into your confidence isn't something that you do later on in life. It's something that you start right now, right here and now, because you are the opportunity and it's not the other way around. I think a lot of us chase validation because our entire lives, that's what has been, valuable. From a young age, we are taught to want approval from other people. And the thing is, most people spend their lives trying to be chosen instead of choosing themselves, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm trying to, put this into words. Sometimes it doesn't really make sense, but essentially, I'm trying to say that trying to fit in stifles out who you actually are. It makes you forget who you actually are because you blend. You compromise to other people, and sometimes you yourself will break yourself in the process. And even if you give everything, you might still not be enough for the wrong people. And don't you dare think that that's your fault because it's not your fault. It's theirs. It's 100% theirs, and that's not even a question. Chasing other people's approval also takes up a bunch of your energy. Every time you look outside of yourself for, any type of validation from others, you're giving away your own power. Because the right people will not need convincing, because if someone's meant for you, you won't have to prove yourself to them. In saying that, that brings me to another point, and that's proving yourself too much can be, dangerous. When you're constantly trying to prove your worth to others, you stop being your authentic self, if that makes sense. You start being what they want you to be and not who you really are. Overgiving without, boundaries often leads to being undervalued. The more you push, the less respect you get from others, and it can also, make you look desperate. And desperation never attracts respect from others because when you overprove yourself, you hand the control to them. You basically say that you put them like in value over yourself because real value isn't something that you argue for, you just live it. You live your own value, and other people will notice that. A big part of this is trying to shift your mindset on things. Stop fearing people leaving. Sometimes the real problem isn't people leaving, it's them staying in your life. Staying with the wrong people costs more to you than just letting them go in the end. Because walking away isn't a weakness, because sometimes it's the strongest move you can make in a situation. You can't grow if you're holding on to like the dead weight of somebody, you know? Not everyone is meant to come up to your next level, if that makes sense. Like if you're progressing in life, you don't have to bring along the people that you're trying to prove yourself to say you made it. Like I think about it in the terms of like have you ever seen like people have their high school reunion, and when they go back to their high school reunion they try to like prove themselves. They're trying to like, "Oh, I'm a doctor. I'm all this, I'm all that." Or they look up those, workout tutorials to get real skinny before they have to go see their, ex people in their high school. That's people who put their value in somebody else. That's kind of an extreme situation, but that's people who put their value in somebody else, you know, on too high of a level. Your peace is worth more than anyone's approval, if that makes sense. Because something else I've learned is that silence oftentimes will speak louder than words. Sometimes just, stepping back, pulling your energy, and, creating space in your own life is enough. You don't owe anybody an explanation. People will notice your absence. They always do. Energy communicates in certain ways that, words can't. When energy leaves, they feel it, immediately. And pulling back that energy shows some type of confidence that they I can't speak. Shows some type of confidence that they have not seen in you. Like, oh my gosh, I can't speak. You don't need to chase, is what I'm trying to say, because respect is earned in the space you put between others instead of you trying to fill that space with noise. The same idea goes with your availability that you give others. People value what they can't always get. If you're always there, if you're constantly available, you start to blend in with others. Sometimes stepping back is the best way to reset, kind of have a reset button on this balance. Less presence can actually create more of an impact because value rises when access lowers. It's kind of like supply and demand if you've taken economics class. And being missed isn't a bad thing. It's proof that you matter. At the end of the day, self-respect matters more than being liked. Respecting yourself beats being accepted by everybody because approval is so temporary, but your standards that you have are very long lasting. Keeping, disrespect around you lowers you because chasing yourself isn't selfish, it's survival in a way. And when you hold your value, the right people in your life will naturally align themselves with it. They respect your boundaries, they respect your energy, and they respect your presence eventually. Don't chase people who walk away. Like, you don't want to do this in anything. You don't want to chase friends who stop caring about you because, those aren't friends. You don't want to chase a relationship with someone who left because if they left, that's their fault, Because if they leave, you should let them. Most of the time, people don't realize your worth until it's too late. And that's okay because missing out is their loss. Missing out is not your loss. You don't need to prove like anything. You don't need to prove that you're successful because they'll learn it on their own and they'll realize what they missed out on. Their silence will teach them more than anything your words ever could have. Not everyone deserves access to your energy, your time, or your life. Protect it like it's gold. Like, that's all I can say about it is protect it like it's gold. Stop chasing and start choosing in your life. Let go without fear of losing people because the people who are meant for you won't ever need convincing to, be proud of you or to like look up to you, because that will come on its own. Absence reveals truth. The wrong people fade when you stop feeding them. That's the best thing I can say about that. So let them miss out. And never forget, you are the opportunity. Always. All right. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching the video until this point. Not many people make it to this point. I'm a small YouTuber, and sometimes people get thrown off by the, 5 views on my videos. But I don't do it for the views. I do it because those are 5 people who I potentially have the opportunity to impact in a greater way. Please, if you like this video and you stay till the end, consider hitting the like button. I'm not going to be one of those people ever that's like, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Please. No. I'm going to just ask you, if you liked the video, maybe consider it. If you really liked it, maybe consider subscribing, because that boosts my videos more than you know. It helps me more than you know, because it shows YouTube that it should push my content out more. And it makes all this so much more worth it. I'll stop my yapping. Everybody always does this yapping in their YouTube videos, so I'll quit. But I just want to say I love you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Deuces.